Craig Revel Horwood, our favourite Strictly judge. How are you, darling?
Darling, fabulous.
You look amazing.
I know, incredible, isn't it?
Your outfit, what is this jacket? Is it vintage?
No.
It's not vintage, darling.
No, darling. Read the label.
Gucci.
Oh, it's Gucci.
Yeah, but is it vintage
Yeah.
Gucci?
It's a sort of vintage Gucci.
It's lovely.
Sort of. Well, they brought out a range, I think it was last year.
I think we were expecting a tux.
Yes, or drag, I believe.
You do look amazing in drag.
You do.
Have you ever thought about going on Drag Race yourself?
Yeah, but they wouldn't pay enough money. Graham Norton will accept that sort of rubbish money, but I won't.
That's
wow.
shame.
Just telling you the truth. And sometimes, as you know, it hurts.
Let's talk Strictly. How are you rating the 2019 crew?
I'm really loving it, and particularly Michelle Visage.
Yes.
I think she is just diva and fantastic and really good at dancing. I mean, she is so detailed, I can't tell you. It's amazing. And I know that Giovanni has been, her partner, of course, Gio, is a little bit shaken up because she's so demanding. I mean, she wants to get it right.
Oh,
She
nice.
doesn't want to go out there looking like an idiot. So, and I can understand why, you know, with 10 million people viewing
Yeah,
her.
cool.
So, and she's got a reputation to protect because she's a judge herself. So I think that doubles the pressure, you know, and I think she's doing brilliantly well, as is Kelvin, actually. And that was a bit of a shock. And, you know, coming in at the last minute and proving that his hips aren't from the Iron Age, are they? They're quite
Those hips
loose.
don't lie.
They're lascivious, darling, and we love that.
Who are you tipping to win this year?
Well, I know it's going to be someone good because the general public now who are doing the 50% of voting generally get it right. They keep the comedy acts in for a bit just to watch them, laugh at them and, you know, enjoy
Who
their
are
drinks
you
at home.
classing as the comedy acts this year? Let's just make sure we know who.
Well, I'll leave that to the audience to decide for yourselves because everyone makes everyone laugh. But I think it's really good.
What do you think, Michelle to win?
Well, I would put my money on her if I was going to be betting. Of course, I can't because I'm impartial as a judge, and of course, I think
But
she's
you're not really, like, deep down.
deep down inside. I have a lot of thoughts, and they're not for this radio station.
wow.
Okay. Wow.
That's a whole nother show, darling.
How's Motzi settling into the panel?
I love her. I totally love her vibrancy. I love the energy she brings. She's had 9 years experience, of course, in Germany, so she knows exactly what she's talking about. And I think she's a great personality on the show. And I get on with her really, really well, even though the press say we don't.
Yeah, that's why we all argue all the time.
Yeah, I can see that. I felt the hate vibe as I walked in.
I have a favour to ask you. The other day, during one of her critiques, Motzi said a very infamous phrase, "Give it to me." Now, we all know that "Give it to me" is a Fleur East lyric.
Yes.
We remixed it.
Give it to me.
Okay. So what I'm thinking is maybe you could slip in "Give it to me" at some point during one of your critiques.
Yeah, I will, darling.
Maybe like a "Give it to me, darling."
Give it to me, darling.
Exactly. Do you think you could do that at the weekend?
I'll try.
Maybe on Michelle. I feel like she'd enjoy that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go for the visage. Give it to me, darling.
Exactly.
Do you know what? I would get so excited if that
I
happened.
would die.
I'd be
Well,
like,
I don't generally ask people to give it to me because I'm judging.
what I want to know is, have you ever fallen victim to the Strictly curse? Does it affect the judging panel?
I've tried to. I've made myself widely available. I've thrown a 300-mile radius out there, darling, and I still can't fall victim to it. And I've been hoping and praying.
Well, maybe you
that
need to
would happen
move
one
closer
day.
to Bruno. That's the problem.
Is the judging panel set out in that lineup for a particular reason?
Yes,
Like, is
because
there a reason you and Bruno are on opposite ends?
Yeah, I said in my contract that I would not sit next to him.
Did you really?
I said, so if you change me from the end, darling, I will not be there.
Whoa.
No.
I can't be next to that. He grabs, he's standing up every time now. I mean, we started this in 2004, May 2004. That was 16 years ago. And he never used to stand up then. But now look, Look what America has done to him. You know? Being under the rule of Trump, I think, that does it.
We know a little secret about you. You're actually very nice. Apparently, you're really lovely.
I'm thoroughly adorable.
How do you get into the zone on the show?
I look at the dancing. That sends me into the zone. If you were there judging something you'd done all your life and it was horribly wrong, you'd have to say something, wouldn't you? You couldn't just sit back and say, oh, darling, you're marvellous. Don't worry, you'll get the gold.
What I'd like to do, I'd like to see if we can get you to get the judge's hat on. And also, the wicked, you're playing a wicked part in your panto as well. So
Yeah,
you need
they're the best parts, the villains. Who'd want to play anyone, you know, lovey-dovey?
I'd want to be a princess.
I'd want to get... I
Of
want
course
to...
you would.
I want to see if
That
we...
was obvious as soon as I walked in.
I want to see if we can get you in the villainous zone, right? I'm going to give you some topics, and we want to see you be nasty about the hardest topics to be nasty about, all right? So let's see if you can say some nasty stuff about these topics. First of all, tell us something nasty and mean about puppies.
Puppies poo everywhere. They're ghastly. They're uncontrolled. And they rip your furniture to shreds. Anything else?
Yeah, and I hope you don't give the same answer when I say Holly Willoughby.
Well, yes, Holly Willoughby, darling. I don't know whether you've ever done that Celebrity Juice, as I've just filmed.
Well, you can tell
No,
us...
she can be really nasty on that.
Really?
That's the other side of the bubbliness.
I think you've met your match. Okay.
All right, so rainbows.
There's never a pot of gold at the end of them. Only,
Good
just
answer.
only
Just
a
me.
thousand gay guys marching with flags.
Here I am.
One's in the room now.
Christmas.
You have to spend a lot of money and waste money on people.
He's good. He's good. I didn't think you'd do that.
Very
He's
good.
Yeah.
Didn't even falter. Didn't even shake at all.
No.
I want to know what you think of The X Factor and Simon Cowell, because you're both like baddies on the judging panel. Are you mates?
It's only because we care. No, Bruno was a really good friend of his, and I met him I've met Simon a couple of times. I think, you know, his judging style is fantastic. And plus, he has a lot more to gain than me because he has his own record label that he could sign people
Very
to.
true.
And so there's an ulterior motive, whereas I'm not going to take Anne Widdecombe on Tango Tour of the World, am I? Let's face it. So, or release, you know,
please
a
do.
fitness DVD with John Sargent. You know, so it's very different for me, but I like him and I would love to see him as a contestant on the show. And you never
Oh my
know,
gosh.
it might get the X Factor ratings up a little bit. Just saying.
There it is.
Talking of that, I tell you who I miss. Can I be honest? I tell you who I miss from Strictly. I miss Brendan Cole. I thought Brendan was great on Strictly, but he's now crossing over. He's doing the celeb edition of X Factor. Are you going to be rooting for Brendan now that he's on the other side?
Well, I like Brendan. I cooked him lunch last weekend. He came over. We hadn't seen each other since he left the programme.
Yeah.
And I think he's doing well. And why not go on the X Factor? You know, if you've got the X Factor, try and win it, you know, but does he?
I am obviously a huge fan of Michelle, like we all are, and you give her very lovely feedback all the time. Are you scared to challenge her? Ever?
No. I will tell her what's wrong when something is wrong.
But so far...
Absolutely. So far, she's been a jewel.
Wow.
Yeah, she's been fantastic.
And more so than any other contestant?
Well, I think generally I get harder on people as they go on in the competition, and plus they have less time to actually rehearse. I'm sort of looking forward to going for the jugular because I know she probably has some one-liners,
Yeah.
you know, tucked in her knickers
She's
somewhere,
prepared.
darling. She's
definitely got them
out.
tucked.
We have every Monday. We have Curtis Pritchard, who comes on the show, gives us the backstage goss from Strictly. Of course, his brother of AJ.
He is.
Have you seen Curtis? Because I think Curtis has done the version in Ireland, hasn't he? Have you seen Curtis dance? Would you
Yes,
be able to judge who's the better, Curtis or AJ?
Yeah, well, it depends if you're going for the taller one or the shorter, cuter one.
Right.
Oh, shade.
But if I'm judging
On dancing, though, on dancing. Who is
on
it?
dancing, I would say AJ all the way.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you so much, Craig Revel Horwood.
Yay! Thank you.